This evening, John Lennon arrived at the emergency room at the Roosevelt Hospital. He was dead at the time of his arrival.
Hollywood is built on glamour, success, and unforgettable talent. But behind the spotlight lies a darker truth. Some celebrity deaths weren't just tragic losses. They became lasting mysteries that still disturb fans decades later. Official explanations were given, investigations were closed, and headlines moved on. But questions never did. From sudden overdoses to unexplained circumstances and unsettling coincidences, these final moments continue to haunt Hollywood's legacy. Today, we look at the 10 most shocking celebrity deaths, the final 10 from a list that refuses to fade from memory. And the closer we get to number 1, the harder the truth becomes to accept. 10. Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger's death in 2008 shocked the world just as his career reached extraordinary heights. Found dead in his Manhattan apartment, his death was officially ruled an accidental overdose involving prescription medications. Despite the case being closed, questions quickly emerged. Reports highlighted Ledger's intense preparation for his role as the Joker, ongoing struggles with severe insomnia, and the presence of several medications in his apartment. Confusion surrounding who was contacted before emergency services arrived only fueled public speculation. For many, Ledger's death became a haunting example of how creative brilliance can coexist with deep personal vulnerability, ultimately colliding in tragic and irreversible ways. 9. Anna Nicole Smith. Anna Nicole Smith's death in 2007 marked a tragic conclusion to a life lived under relentless public scrutiny. She was found unresponsive in a Florida hotel room, and her death was ruled an accidental overdose involving multiple prescription drugs. The tragedy deepened due to its timing, occurring just months after the death of her young son from a similar combination of substances. Legal disputes, accusations, and questions about the people surrounding her followed almost immediately. To this day, her death symbolizes the dangerous intersection of fame, dependency, and exploitation, leaving many to wonder whether stronger intervention could have changed the outcome of her deeply troubled final years. 8. Prince. Prince's death in 2016 stunned fans who believed he lived a disciplined and carefully controlled life. The music icon died from an accidental fentanyl overdose at his Paisley Park estate. Investigations later revealed that Prince had been secretly battling chronic pain and had obtained medications through unofficial sources to maintain privacy. Pills found at his home were reportedly mislabeled, raising fears that he may not have known what he was taking. Despite emergency warnings only days earlier, help came too late. Prince's death exposed how even the most powerful and private artists can suffer silently, with devastating consequences hidden behind legendary success. 7. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's death in 2009 remains one of the most controversial tragedies in entertainment history. The king of pop died from acute intoxication caused by powerful sedatives administered by his personal physician. While Dr. Conrad Murray was convicted of involuntary manslaughter, many believe the responsibility extended beyond a single individual. Jackson's reliance on medication, the extreme pressure of preparing for a demanding comeback tour, and years of physical and emotional strain painted a troubling picture. His death forced Hollywood to confront how relentlessly the industry pushes its biggest stars, often ignoring warning signs until it is tragically too late. 6. Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston's death in 2012 devastated fans and the music industry alike. She was found unconscious in a hotel bathtub, with her death ruled an accidental drowning complicated by drug use. Still, questions lingered. Reports of missing items from her hotel room and the decision to continue a major industry event in the same building sparked widespread criticism. The tragedy became even more haunting after the later death of her daughter under similar circumstances. Houston's passing remains a painful reminder of how addiction can overpower extraordinary talent, leaving behind unanswered questions and a legacy forever shaped by loss. 5. Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain's death in 1994 silenced the voice of an entire generation and sparked debates that continue decades later. Officially ruled a suicide, the case has long been surrounded by controversy. Critics point to the extremely high level of heroin reportedly found in his system, questioning whether he could have physically acted afterward. Others highlight the absence of clear fingerprints on the weapon and inconsistencies in the timeline of events leading up to his death. While law enforcement has repeatedly reaffirmed its findings, public skepticism has never fully disappeared. Cobain's death remains one of the most discussed and disputed tragedies in music history, symbolizing the struggle to accept that such a profoundly influential artist could meet such a quiet and devastating end. 4. Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse's death in 2011 stunned fans who believed she was finally reclaiming control of her life. Found dead in her London home, her passing was ruled alcohol poisoning after a period of sobriety, a combination known to be especially dangerous. Many close to Winehouse questioned whether adequate medical supervision had been in place during her recovery. Critics argued that the industry continued to exploit her vulnerability rather than protect her well-being. Her death placed her among the infamous 27 Club, reinforcing a haunting pattern of young talent lost too soon. Winehouse's story remains a painful reminder of how fame, addiction, and pressure can collide, often leaving artists isolated when they need help the most. 3. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Philip Seymour Hoffman's death in 2014 sent shockwaves through Hollywood and the film community. The acclaimed actor was found dead in his apartment, with authorities ruling his death an accidental overdose. Later revelations showed that Hoffman had relapsed after many years of sobriety, a struggle he had kept largely private. Investigators linked his death to a particularly lethal batch of heroin circulating at the time, highlighting the broader dangers of the drug epidemic. Friends and colleagues expressed shock, noting how quietly Hoffman had been battling his demons. His passing underscored how relapse can strike suddenly and invisibly, even after long periods of recovery, leaving behind grief and unanswered questions. 2. Paul Walker. Paul Walker's sudden death in a 2013 car crash left fans worldwide in disbelief. Authorities concluded that excessive speed caused the accident, but questions soon emerged regarding the car's design and safety features. Legal battles followed, fueling public debate and speculation. The tragedy was made even more unsettling by the irony of Walker's fame as a high-speed action star in the Fast and Furious franchise. Beyond his on-screen persona, Walker was known for his humanitarian work, which further deepened the sense of loss. His death forced Hollywood and audiences alike to confront the risks associated with thrill-seeking culture and the fragile line between cinematic fantasy and real-world consequences. 1. Robin Williams, most shocking. Robin Williams' death in 2014 shocked the world because it contradicted the joyful image he shared with millions. Initially understood as a tragic suicide linked to depression, later revelations changed the narrative entirely. Williams had been battling Lewy body dementia, a severe neurological condition that caused rapid cognitive decline, confusion, and fear. His widow later explained that his decision was driven by the terror of losing his identity and mental clarity. This disclosure reshaped public understanding of his final days, transforming the story from one of hidden sadness to profound illness. Williams' death remains one of Hollywood's most heartbreaking tragedies, marked by compassion, misunderstanding, and lasting sorrow. These deaths weren't just endings, they were echoes that still haunt Hollywood. Behind the fame and applause were real people carrying pain, pressure, and unanswered questions. As the years pass, the mysteries remain, reminding us that even the brightest stars can disappear into darkness. And sometimes, the truth is far more unsettling than the headlines ever revealed. If this story made you think, like the video to support the channel, subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what comes next.